Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Indy and today we are back for day 2 of our real life karting adventure, and this is going to be from Summit Point, Shenandoah. This is the Sunday races where we have 2 races here. We have an Iame sprint race and the Iame X30, and then we do have just a Lo206 race later in the day. As you can see me turning on the camera here, and we're starting 5th, but it doesn't really matter as it is a standing start, and we are going to go green, and we're actually going to get a good launch. We're going to go to the outside, and we are going to be up into the lead now here on lap number 1 as we're going to come into these couple corners. And we had sorted out our motor issues from the previous day. If you had seen that video, you'd know that we did have some issues with the motor, and we are actually going to hold our lead this time going into turn 1 and turn number 2, or actually turn 3 and 4, as turn 1 was a little kink on the front straightaway. But now coming out of the little carousel there, coming down the hill, we're going to see we are going to hold the lead here, and the goal here is just to try and stretch that gap out and see if we can break away from the draft. We have put on some new tires, but we are still taking it relatively easy and just trying to settle into the race and get it started, so there's no issues there. And we are actually going to get a bit of a bump from behind, so we know somebody is right there on our bumpers. I guess we got on the brakes just a tad too early there as we were trying to just settle into the race. But now coming up into the right-hander here, again, with a bit of a tap from behind, which is to be expected as is very close racing, and I guess I was just braking a tad too early for these couple corners, so we definitely know at least one person is there. So now we're going to come into the final corner and we're going to see if we can actually lead a lap here at Shenandoah, as we did not get around a whole lap last time in the lead before losing it. And the motor's not perfect here, but it's definitely way better than it was yesterday. We're going to go to the inside here, as it is the shortest distance around the track is with this little curve. And you can see we are leading lap number 1 as we have the graphic for today. But Clark Gaynor Jr. is going to go to our inside here, and we're going to fall down into 2nd place, and we're going to see if we can maybe hang on to the back of him, as he did have a little more pace than we did here, especially in these early stages. But I think it does come back to us a bit. But here we are going to get a nice little run off the corner. You can see just how much we close in with the draft. We're going to go to the outside, and probably could have pulled off that move, but we backed out of it. As you can hear me lift off the throttle there, as we didn't want to go too wide, and that is going to cost us a bit through the left-hander, as we do have another kart now right on us here coming out of this corner, and they may go to our inside here. We're going to look. We are not going to defend it, but we're going to see if this person is going to go by to us and see if we are going to lose the position here. We do not. We actually hold it through the right-hander, so we're going to see if we can close back up here down through the left-hander now on the brakes. Hard for this transition corner, very bumpy. Just want to throw the kart in there, trying to get back on the power as early as possible. And through this last corner, I was turning in a bit too early and not carrying as much speed as the other people, or as the 2 leaders. So that is where we're losing some time, as I can see on this video. That will be somewhere I can improve for next time. But we are right on the back of this, and the gap is now 0.1 in front of us and 0.6 up to the leader. So we're going to see if we can maybe hang on to the back, and Greg Herbley in front of us is probably he was definitely the fastest kart, as he was already all over the back of Clark Gaynor Jr. in the lead, and they are going to go side by side, and Eberly is going to go to the outside of him, and we're going to suck up to the draft. We probably could have maybe tried to move here. Clark Gaynor Jr. is going to go back to the inside, see if he can get the move pulled off, and he's actually going to back out of it. As you can see here, I am losing a bit of time through that left-hander, but as you can already see, it's a much improvement from yesterday, as we're actually somewhat able to hang with these guys versus yesterday. They were gone after like 2 corners. But now coming on to the little back straight, we're going to come down into the right-hander. We're hoping they just have a little bit of a battle for themselves, and it can allow us to stay with them. But right now, it's looking like they are pulling me ever so slightly. But we are pulling away from 3rd place, or from 4th place at this point. So it's pretty much going to be a battle, and hopefully they can keep battling and allow myself to close in and hopefully stay within that draft. As you're going to see the graphic pop up on the left, it's now an 0.8 gap to the kart in front, and then a second back up to the leader. So we have lost a bit of time, about 4/10 that lap to the leader. And we are going to skip ahead here now, coming down into the transition turn. As you can see, they are pulling away just a bit more, but as you're going to see, Herbley is going to pull off to the left there, and he actually threw a chain, so that is going to suck for him. That will end his day early here at Summit Point Shenandoah and Iame Sprint, but it is going to allow us to see if we can run down Clark Gaynor Jr. He's not going to have that toe pulling him away. So right now the gap is 1.5 seconds. We're going to see if we can bring that down in the next couple of laps here. So coming into turn 1, which is flat out, we're going to go up the hill, braking just after that curb ends, and a bit of trail braking up the hill. I probably could go a bit deeper into that corner, but we are going to skip ahead, and now here on lap 7, the gap is down to 1.3 seconds, so we made up 2/10 that lap. As you can see, we do have a bit of a side picture there in the bottom of what's going on outside, as you're getting close to probably 84 miles an hour coming up into turn 1, and definitely carry more speed up the hill than I am there. But we are going to jump ahead another lap, and it's down to 1.2, so we picked up another 10th, so we are closing in here on lap 8, and we're going to see if we can actually catch the leader here, as that would be the #1 goal. And right now, I was just trying to set some fast laps and see if we can close that gap. This time, it's 1.3, so we're running basically about even here on lap 9, but we definitely have pulled away from 3rd and 4th place. So we are going to now coming up into turn 1, and we were making up some time on the back section of the track. And skipping ahead, it's equalized at 1.3, and we are going to come up here on lap 10, and we're seeing if we can make up any more of that time. It's not really looking like it at the moment. So skipping ahead on to lap 11 now, we're going to come down the front straight, and this is, I think, going to be our undoing in this race. As you can see, there are 2 lap karts up here that we are going to have to work around, and Clark Gaynor Jr. does get him on the straight, but we actually get one of them here and maybe have a look up the inside here, but decide not to back out of it. So we are losing time following him through this corner. As you can see, we're right on the back of him, and we're going to go to his outside here as we picked the spot. We're going to go to the outside here, and I guess the lap kart actually was moving over to let us through the other side, but we were already there. But we are going to lose some time there. As you're going to see, the time gap is now 2.5 seconds. We lost about a second there, but more importantly, we lost that ever bit of tiny drafts we were still getting, and that is going to allow the gap to increase as we're going to come up here. This is the last lap of the race, and we were not able to close in. We actually ended up losing some more time as well as losing the draft. Our tires did get hot after about 12 laps as we were running the tire pressures a bit too high, and it caused them to overheat and lose grip. So we ended up finishing second by, I think, around 8 seconds was the overall gap, as we were losing about a second a lap towards the end of the race, which is fine. We did pull away from 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so it's not a bad result. It's not ideal. I thought we maybe could have had a chance to win that race had our tires not actually overheated, but it is what it is. Second place, we'll take the points. And now pulling into the pits, as you're going to see, we're going to get in the scale line. And now we are going to skip ahead to the second race of the day. This is the Lo206 race, and we're starting, I think, 4th in this one. And we're waiting on that green flag. It goes green. You can see we get an okay, decent start, but it's not great. As you can see, that kart already going around the outside of us, and we're actually going to have a kart go to our inside here, and that's going to work out for them. And we're actually side by side. A kart actually went through the grass to our inside here, and another kart's actually going to go through, and we actually lose a good amount of positions here on just the start. I think we're probably back in 9th or 10th, as we lose another position going up into turn 1 as somebody had our inside there. And we were still struggling with some motor issues and power issues in this one, but here we are on now coming down the hill. We're going to see if we can get a bit of toe and close that gap up to the 17 in front of us, and it should come down quite easily once we actually get in the draft, but it doesn't really close that much. Now, lifting off for this left-hander, I could probably get on the power just a tad early, but they are still fighting up front. Pretty good cluster there coming down onto the back side of the track. And right here is really what's going to cost us some time, as we have a run here, and he just shuts the door completely, actually takes off, hits our nose, and is going to kill all our momentum, and that's just going to allow 3 to 4 cars just to freight train by on the inside, as we actually only lose 2 spots there. But the 92 here, we're actually going to look for a rather stupid move. I probably should have just followed him up the hill and would have got a better run off the corner, but again, killing our momentum. And this got me a little worried, is if we lose touch of the draft, it's pretty much over for us, as we're just falling like a rock here on lap 1. We're going to see if we can run him down once we actually get on the straight. But the 392 and that other kart that actually cut us off were in a different class, and I'm not exactly sure why they were started with us, because they were quick on the straight, as they weigh way less because they are the juniors, and there's not much of a disadvantage in the motor, so they were theoretically quicker and on certain parts of the tracks, and they were hard to pass because of that. But now coming up the hill, we are going to run them all down as they all get checked up just a bit, and that's going to allow us to close in. So we are right here now coming up the hill all over the back of number 54, which is a junior, and now 120 in front of us. We're going to see if we can get a run on him and maybe put a move on him. We thought about if we got a run going 3 wide, but think better of it, as it would not be a very smart move. Now coming into the left-hander, we actually have to lift off, and the 54 is going to allow him to come around our outside, and now stuck behind these 2 juniors, we may actually lose the draft here if we cannot get by them soon. And we go to the outside here, which was not a great move. I guess we were trying to get the run off the corner, and it worked somewhat. We're going to see if we can actually get a move done here. There in the draft, we're going to go to the inside of 1 and maybe get the other one going late into the corner as he turns in way late, and that's going to be another spot. But as you can see, the pack in front is already pulled away massively, and that's going to have us losing the draft pretty quickly, as we're going to get the run here on this guy in front of us. We're going to swing to his outside, and we've gotten past all the slower karts, but just you can see how much we've already lost the draft, and pretty much from here, any shot of a win or a top 5 finish was pretty much gone. As you can see, we're not within range to run them down, as it was just caught in some slower traffic and couldn't get through it as well as some of the other guys. I probably could have been a bit more aggressive, but we'll learn from it. But as you can see, we are skipping down. These are some guys who have actually lost the draft, and after you lose the draft, you do fall off. And we're running with a couple guys, so we have ran these guys down quite a bit, and we're going to see, this is definitely in the latter stages of the race, as the 111 in front of us, we're going to get a nice little draft off him, and we're going to see if the space opens up on the inside. It does, and that's going to allow us to go for a pass right as the kart in front of us is going for a pass as well. So that's going to be another spot. I think we're up into maybe 7th at this point, and we're going to see if we can put a move on this 55 kart in front of us in the green kart. So we are skipping ahead now, coming back up the hill. We're going to see if we can actually get a move put on here, and we are going to back out of it just a bit here now, but they do get bottled up just a bit, and we're going to actually have a run to the outside, but it's going to close up. But we have closed up graciously on the back, greatly onto the back of this 55 kart, and we're going to see if we can get a run here now coming down the hill. We're going to see if we can pull the same move off again, and we are, as the space opens up on the inside, and that is going to be another spot checked off. So I think that would put us in, I think, 6th place, either 7th. That may actually put us up into 7th place. But now we're going to see if we can run down this guy in front of us and put a move on him, as you can't really get away, as we've actually already passed him here. And now coming up into the right-hander, I think we are actually going to get passed back. Yeah, as the 55 kart got a run on us, and he's going to go back to our inside. So now back in 8th place, I believe. And coming up into the left-hander here, we're going to see if we can get a run now coming onto the front straightaway. This was, I think, with just 2 laps to go. This may actually be coming to the white flag, which there actually is not a white flag. I do have a little timer, as we are going to lose a spot here. These are 25-minute races here at Shenandoah. So I do have a little timer and do a little math in your head to figure out how many laps you have left. So we are going to skip ahead here. Now this is the last lap of the race. Now coming into the left-hander for the final time. And we're coming now up the hill. This is a very bumpy part of the track. And if you listen, you can hear it. You can hear the RPM spike right there. And that is a thrown chain. So we threw a chain on the last lap of the race. So we are going to coast our way down the hill and pull off up here on the right. We are only going to lose, I think, one more spot than off the back of that train because of the timer, and most people had already taken the checkered flag. So we actually don't lose as many spots as we possibly could have had it came a lap earlier. But we are going to park it here. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more, and have a nice day.